Namaste. Can you hear me properly?
Yeah,
Am I audible?
yes, yes.
Yes, you are audible.
Once again, Subha Shanivar, Subha Din. आज गर्दा गर्दै पनि हाम्रो इन्टरनेटले अलिकति गडबड गर्यो इन्टरनेटको कारणले गर्दाखेरि अलिकति ढिलो हुन गएकोमा we would like to apologize due to the technical problem. हामी अब चाहिँ नि सुरु गर्छौं नेपालको चाहिँ नि इन्टरनेट कहिलेकाहीँ यो कोभिडको टाइममा चाहिँ नि गडबड गरिहाल्छ इन्टरनेटले गडबड गरिहाल्छ भन्दा भन्दै आज कति जना भएछौं त हामी कति जना भएछौं त Okay, I can see a lot of people out here, including my friends, my colleagues, even my seniors who were there in the universities, and there are friends whom I work with in the past, and all of them are very, very passionate to learn, and also eager to contribute in the teaching and learning role. Having said that, with your permission, I would like to start. Okay, साथीहरु सुरु गरौँ है त Okay, finally on behalf once again namaskar and on behalf of the ICA Development and Research and eGyansip, we would like to cordially once again welcome you to a session where we are going to talk about one of the heated topic, which is demystifying the online learning. Online learning, and today we'll be talking about what is online learning, which is relatively a new phenomenon in our context, whereas it has been used in the West and also in India for a very, very long time. And in order to justify the topic, we have invited an expert from India. I would like to say not an expert, the expert from India, who has accepted our cordial invitation to join the session, and this is a voluntary service from the Professor Khare. Today we have invited Professor Dr. Pankaj Khare, who is a renowned personality in India and in Asia and also in Africa, because he has contributed a lot in building capacity in online learning and virtual learning and distance learning in different countries in the past, and he is a passionate learner whom I would like to call as a lifelong learner. He likes to be called as a lifelong learner. Professor Dr. Khare is a PhD, and he has done MTech and also has done a good degree. Also has done a degree in the distance learning, and he has been working in this area for last 35 years. And he has been able to build capacity of different institutions, and in different countries. And he has also built capacity in our country in ICA, that is International Center for Academics. And with our good relationship, our friendship, he accepted our invitation and has given us a 90-minute slot to discuss on the topic. Now I would like to pass on the floor to Dr. Khare to do the justice to the session. We are already delaying the session by 10 minutes. Over to you, sir.
We don't hear you, sir. We don't hear.
Can you hear me? Now I would like to hand over the session to Dr. Khare. Dr. Khare,
Good
are you there,
afternoon.
sir?
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. I think I'm audible to you people. Dr. Robin, please confirm it so that I can continue with the details. Am I audible, Dr. Robin?
Yes, sir, audible.
Dr. Robin, am I audible?
Dr. Khare is not.
Audible.
Am I audible or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, very clear.
Dr. Khare, you are not audible, sir.
I'm so sorry because there was no
Now
response.
it is
so I
audible.
thought
Sir, you may please
thought that
start.
I'm not audible. Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me for this lovely group of participants. As of now, there are about 45 participants who are attending the session, and today I intend to just demystify the online learning platforms in the present COVID pandemic. We all are facing problems in how to remain connected with our own students, whether you are in a school education or in higher education, or you are a practitioner or trainer of training, some sort of training you are engaged in, or you are a government official, you are in policy making, so that to facilitate our teacher educators to come forward and uh, facilitate our learning environment. Now I'm going to share my PowerPoint screen so as to so that you will be able to see what we intend to talk. And let me switch over. Today's topic, as I already said, it is demystifying online learning. I'm not going to cover the technology per se, but what is in the backdrop, what is happening, how you can equip yourself to make best use of technology, whatever probable technologies which are available to you, and how you can get connected with your students. So these are the three, four agenda items I kept in upfront, that how we have from a classroom situation to force we are forced to enter into online monitoring, and then we are going to talk about how to transact your curriculum in an effective and efficient way, particularly when you look into the classrooms in situation where you have eye to eye connect with your learners. And today now, in today's environment, you are not likely to see your students physically in a classroom situation. So how the technology is going to replace that particular classroom situation, and is it actually replacing, or you are going to recreate the classroom scenarios with your learners, and so that the learning could take place. And then we will talk a little bit about the technologies readily available, which is economically viable to us, and with a little knowledge of online systems or the infrastructure or the computers or the mobile devices, how we can make use of it to remain connected with your students. And in the last, we are going to keep 30 to 35 minutes for question answers. You are free to ask any questions which comes into your mind, and I will try to reply to those questions to the best of my capabilities. Being practitioner of distance education for last 35 years, it's an opportunity for me to basically talk about this. What we are doing actually, let us go back a little bit in the historical perspective of education. There used to be learner groups which were selected by the gurus, and in an environment where the learners are given the opportunity to learn by imitating the gurus. That select student became as a group, and later on multi groups were emerged out of it. Then we started talking about mass education, when the infrastructure and the resources, teaching learning resources, started getting limited. And Now, slowly, we are again migrating to the individual education. Let me translate these five components. The select students, I call it as a Gurukul system, where the highly motivated students or the learner who was willing to get information and knowledge used to travel all the way to Gurukuls, where Guru he was serving the Guru, and Guru used to take a 1 hour or 2 hour sessions for him and teaching him. And later on, that we created the infrastructure in terms of colleges, schools, universities, and it started in a small groups, one section of a class. When the strengths started increasing, when the groups started increasing, so you got section A, section B, section C in the same for the same group of learners in the same environment. For say, for example, class 11th, you got 3, 4, 5 sections, and group of students were taught by group of teachers. Then, with the advent of technology and the need because of limited resources, we started talking about mass education, where we started correspondence courses, and then later on distance education with multimedia capability, and which led to online classes. And online, when you talk about, it is no longer group or multi-group or masses. It is again very personalized, individualized learning taking place. Am I audible? I think there is somebody who is yet to unmute himself, and I'm going ahead with my presentation. Let us talk a little bit about the Palden sir. Kindly mute yourself, Palden sir. Okay, the I'm taking you to the scenario where we used to practice in past till pandemic came into, and because of this COVID. Okay, I'm unmuted now. So what we were doing in the classroom, the for every level of learning, be it is a class, primary or secondary or even higher education components, there is a set type of curriculum which is parted with, and our all pedagogy was weaved around that defined curriculum. We drawing from the curriculum, whatever topic or the subject you were drawing, we started preparing lesson plans. The teachers and the students in a four-wall environment with a chalk and board, we were able to deliver whatever contents were there. Few good teachers are using class notes to be distributed, and as well that limitation of that 1 hour or 45 minutes in the classroom situation, to strengthen it up, we started giving homework, and the homework is to be done as a home assignment, and the student needs to complete it. Whatever is transacted in the day, he used to complete that in the evening. And then on a regular interval, we were assessing the progress made by the students on the basis of defined curriculum and tangible outcomes which we envisaged. Uh, Practical rooms are added on wherever science and other things are coming in. Now entering into a correspondence course, which is later on renamed as a distance education, because total content packaging has emerged with a lot many things along with the text. So defined curriculum remained the same, but we have introduced, instead of lesson plans, there is an instructional design which is introduced, which tells a teacher how to go about it, what components are to be put forth in such a way that learning could take place. So there is a whole lot of content developers came into, and the remote students, those who are not coming in to connect, and they were make maximum, they were using print materials, home assignments, audio visual tapes. There are universities like mine having 5 TV channels, and across world there are universities which are having radio channels and TV channels. Then to assist further to the students. There were contact classes similar to the classroom situation for a group of students, where we call it as a counseling. It is a bit different from the teaching, because in teaching you use blackboard and chalk and deliver the contents. In counseling session, we counsel on the difficult areas, on the bottlenecks which are faced by the students. We promote peer-to-peer interaction, and one student who is much of knowledge or sharing the knowledge with each other, they were doing. With the time when television became more popular in our state, and we started using teleconference, where two-way audio and one-way video was shared. This teleconference is used with the earlier video technology. Two-way audio, I'm saying, because the deliberations are taking in a closed environment of the studios, and the student is calling back through telephone to the studio and putting their questions. Same was the concept of interactive radio. We are all listening FM radios, and you will find that they always provide you a phone number where you can contact them and raise your questions, put up comments, etc., etc. To replace the practical components, it was tested. Home-based practical kits were provided to students. So it is more or less within masses, there were individual learning which is taking place. The bottom line between the two was the self-motivation, the inspiration. In classroom situation, it was by compulsion that you need to go to the school or college to learn, but on a specific time. No colleges were, except the evening or night colleges, no colleges were available to you at the middle of night. But in distance education, it's up to you. If you are highly motivated, you can make use of the content package which is provided to you. And any point of time, you can make use of it, and you can do self-learning in that point of view. Having said the difference between the distance education, I was trying to tell about distance education more, because the genesis of online learning, e-learning, web-based learning, or computer-supported learning originated basically with the idea of, or the success of distance education. Excuse me. So distance education objective, when it was brought forth, is to serve in a cost-effective, flexible manner without bothering about time and space. And dynamism is put up into education, and it was giving opportunity to all the learners to learn as per their choice. It was a channel. My age is not a constraint here. I have a PhD student in IGNOU who is 83 of age. Last year he has completed his MPhil, Mr. Bipin Gupta, and now he is doing his PhD in education, distance education itself. So age is not a bar. Had it been an earlier formal system environment, probably I at this age may not be permitted to register myself for PhD, or even for any postgraduate program. And there will be a comparison. There is also a fear that I need to sit with my kids, my own children, to learn. But in distance education, that flexibility is there. You are by your own. If you are self-motivated, you can do. Then there is a constraint of when you are serving somewhere and you are not able to study on to go to regular classes and do it. Your studies. So while working also, you can find out some time to study, and flexible system permits you to stretch out your curriculum over the period. Rather than 3 years graduation, you can do it in 5 years or 6 years. Having said that, let us come to the online, and there are many jumble up technologies which are available. Some are known to us, and some are new to us. Uh, Dr. Robin, please mute our participants, please. Uh, this is a jumble up, and which is actually creating a fear amongst ourselves. We are afraid of learning technologies. So the two terms which comes up, there is a published paper that there is a group who are digital natives, and there is a group who are digital migrants. So remembering Darwin, who said that survival is the fittest, in that scenario, what happens? People like me who has seen the availability of landline. It was a new thing when you used to pick a phone and used to say number please, and then somebody will assisting you to connect to the phone. And today you have cell phones or mobile devices with you, with the smartphones. You can do miracles. Hardly you will find somebody is there who is not using phone. It became an essential, integral part of it. Similarly, why to get afraid of then about the technologies? When computers came into existence, I bought my first computer way back in 1989. It was a PC with a floppy drive, two floppy drives, and I used to use at home. But there was a fear of getting spoiled the machine. There was a fear to learn new things which are coming up. It was used mostly as an electronic typewriter initially to type my own research papers or the text materials which I was writing for university. But over the period, that word processing has come up, and Microsoft Office and other open source softwares applications has provided lot many things. Now we don't talk about that I want to learn MS Word or I want to learn MS Excel. We do not talk about it because that fear of using computer for application purposes is gone from us. So we all are knowing the technology per se. We all listen to radio, we all see television per se, but we use it for the purpose of our own entertainment, whether it is a radio or television, or you go to movies. This is all part of technology. Then what is that online? So with the advent of internet, when we started getting World Wide Web and getting connected, and we started calling that Google knows everything, and we can learn from there. So lot many things started coming, and let me take you to that particular thing, that how many types of applications actually we were using and we intend to use. The fear of using that technology is slowly going away. So there are application softwares like I told you, MS Word, MS Access, Excel, PowerPoint presentations. Then there are those who are doing the computing work or the accounting, preparation of fee accounts or processing salaries, etc. Then those who are using for research and analysis, these different applications are there, which may not be, you may not be able to do it on the normal word processing software or Excel spreadsheets. But when we became more comfortable these applications, then it was thought, why not a new component is to be added in our teaching and curriculum transaction. So the whole lot of new apps started emerging in. First of all, that the components which I have written here are content development. All your teaching resources, all your whatever you were deliberating on that fixed curriculum needs to be converted to be digitized in a text form, or at places you may like to use a video film towards it, or you may like to have an audio film towards it. Uh, then you wanted to deliver, we all wanted to deliver that particular digitized material in offline mode, or to give it the opportunity through mobile phones as a PDF file in asynchronous mode, which is not just in time. So for example, sending emails along with the text material, questions or facilitation, whatever you are doing, or even we are using social media platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, etc., to share what resources we have developed and making them use for teaching learning process. In synchronous mode, particularly with pandemic, these all were present right from, if I believe, for last 15, 16 years, these technologies are available. I still recall after just 15, 16 years before, I was using Skype as a package to do video calling when video calling was not permitted by the state. But Skype was a group discussion platform which was there. Today we have Meet. Now we all are meeting today on Zoom platform. So there are teleconference packages, interactive radio counseling packages, radio station need not to be there because web radio has emerged for synchronous session. So you can invite the group of learners which are associated with you or through these platforms and have a Zoom meeting, and you can literally create a classroom environment. So online learning is taking place, but it is in a similar environment which you were practicing for long in the classroom environment. In addition to that, now we started getting additional resources which probably may not be available, probably were not available to us in a classroom situation. For example, web resources. I can demonstrate you about this particular aspect through our, this is OER Commons, and this is Khan Academy video I'm going to play for you just for how to set up your class. Is it visible? Video is visible to you? Somebody should confirm it to me. Is it visible?
Yes, it
No,
is
not yet.
visible, sir.
Not yet, sir. Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, 1 second. I'm reshifting to my whole screen so that I can show you that particular thing. Now, is it visible, a video on your screen?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
This video is an overview of how to set up your classes and rosters. First, log in and you'll see your teacher dashboard. This is your hub for all teacher activity. From the teacher dashboard, you can quickly navigate to your classes, see a list of your students.
This is something which I wanted to show you, that some video, if you want to show it to your students, you can actually play it on Zoom meeting, and you can demonstrate that this is the technology which is available to you. Another one is which mostly we are using for the purpose of e-learning. Say, for example, I want to learn e-learning in English. So there is an English lecture available to me on YouTube.
Writing's not that easy, but
So
Grammarly can help.
advertisement
This
skip.
sentence
I
is
will skip it to
grammatically
you. So something daily English conversation lesson on one on greetings, etc.
Lesson 1, greetings,
So this is add-on resources which started coming forward
basic patterns,
to us, so that you can actually share with your own students that these are available. Similarly, there are aspects, for example, you can have gaming devices or games available linked with your curriculum, and you can say for example, for nurseries or class 1 students, you want to teach them simple addition, 1 plus 1. So 2 figures comes, one Mr. 1 and Mr. 1. When they join hands, they become 2. So the game is that one has to bring in the character. So if you search it on the website, you will find that there are gaming areas available to you, and you can make use of them in demonstrating based on the target group, which is your student. Then there are open education resources available. Even as a teacher, you can develop those lesson plans and upload on the websites where it will be made use of. Other teaching faculty make use of it. If you are innovative, you are generating something which is not readily available. So something, those web resources is add-on to opportunity in your online classes. I was serving Central University of Punjab, and there we tried to record the classroom lectures as a video form, and those tapes or CDs I kept in the library, so that the student, what today was taught to me, if he wants to revisit the lecture, he can go to the library, take out today's CD of that particular economics lecture and see it. But it is, one needs to go to library. In online resources, it is readily available to you on through internet and the platform which is available to you, right? So I'm going ahead with this. Now, in online pedagogy, when we talk about, there is a remote learning path. What we need to do how to make best use of this online transaction of curriculum. So you have to draw a path to for the benefit of your learners. We call it as a remote learning path. Then you have to generate the contents which you intend to deliver to these. Either you prepare lessons or convert whatever you were teaching in your classroom as a class notes and make use of it. Collect the resources from websites, YouTube videos, or some audio lectures, etc., and embed in those things under your lesson plans. Then your concern, my concern is always that what technology I should use when I'm delivering online, which is good technology by which my learners can actually learn, and that learning effectively it is taking place, efficiently it is taking place. So selection of technology is an important. Now, the monetary resources or economics is an important. If I want to buy Zoom for 350 people, I need to spend money. But for 100, it is freely available for 45 minutes. Beyond 45 minutes, you need to pay. Similarly, there are technologies available to you which you can make use of based on your learning path. Now you decide that this lesson will have 2 assignments, one Zoom session of 45 minutes, etc., etc. So beforehand, if you have derived your remote learning path, you have collected the resources, you have generated the contents, and smaller utilities. Like for example, using your own mobile, you can download CamScan, and whatever your handwritten thing is there, you can scan and put it on the website or the technology available to you. That is why you need to plan and then teach. Then give them the opportunity to learners to practice and assess them on a regular interval to judge how much whatever you have deliberated, how effectively it is being used by the learners. Important in online technology, which is not there in classroom environment, is to communicate using available technologies like email or WhatsApp or Facebook or Instagram, and go on talking to the students. So it's a group learning. In this particular component, when you do so many things together, it is I call it as a collaborative teaching. So you need to collaborate with fellow colleagues to develop all those things, and then uniformly give it to the multi classes, multi groups of your own institution. And that facilitation needs to continue till he attains those details. I try to write little bit about learning path, that is regular materials and regular resources. You need not to devise anything new. You need not to, without any fear of technology, you need not to actually think of that what I will do. Do I need to create online digital resources which are I may not be comfortable with this keyboard. I remember in one of the e-learning workshops, this is mouse which we were using, and from this finger I used to say press left key, press left
So
key.
get this, every 1.07 seconds, a new user goes to Wix.com and starts creating their
What's that?
professional website. That's 80,000 go-getters
Okay,
joining every day.
let me shut it down.
They're already
Sorry for the interruption. My video started because I'm using a AI, and computer listens to me, analyzes it, and it starts playing whatever I'm talking to you people. So I'm sorry, I have not switched it off. Basic free technology, the technology you need not to learn. We all know how to use Google Chrome or IE, Internet Explorer or Firefox, things like that. So let us use whatever is readily available to us for effective transaction of curriculum, for effective pedagogy. A few new things like Screencastify, which permits you to record yourself in offline mode whenever you are working on your desktop or laptop, and record yourself with on the right corner, your own video is coming, and left hand side, you're using whiteboard. When I talk about whiteboard, let me share with you how whiteboard looks like. This is a free online whiteboard available to you. Is it visible? Somebody should confirm it. Is it visible,
Yeah.
whiteboard?
No, no, sir. No.
Okay, I
No, sir.
need to change again.
No, sir.
Okay,
No,
okay.
sir, not yet.
I'm going there. I'm going there. Yeah, this is whiteboard available to you. I just
Yeah.
it's an online whiteboard where
It's
the
visible now.
opportunity is
It's
given.
visible.
So if you are teaching to your learner 1+1, and it is in the way I am putting it to you here itself. What you need to have is, instead of chalk, the pen or chalk, whiteboard pen or chalk, you need to use mouse. If you have some resources available to you, or your school provides, you can buy a digital pen. So you can make use of such things, and you can actually tell people, tell your students that this is something available to you. For example, I want to draw a rectangle, so I draw it, and I make another rectangle here, and tell students that this is how a box can be created, right? So you add on the here, and boxes, things like that. I'm again stopping it. I'm going back to my presentation. So think of technology which is readily available to you. Think of technology. You need not to go for a higher version of things. Don't for research analysis, for computing, etc. Don't start talking about SPSS or something like that when you are comfortable with MS Access or MS Excel, where you can do the analysis. So very first thing what we need to do is whatever is available, because tools are not important. Important is the content, the connect, the communication, the learning, and the tangible outcomes from there. Make use of online resources. Produce some videos you download, give it to your students, which helps them in getting the things. Make use of free online games. Create the motivation. I know that kids, when they are hardly 1 year or 2 years, they get attracted to more towards self, and they don't permit mother and father to make use of it rather than playing games. They may not be able to speak, but kids they are digital natives. We are digital migrants. We have to learn technology, and probably the natives are born with it, right? So something of that sort, we have to tap the capabilities which they are making use of, right? So further going ahead on this aspect, I have listed here, I will limit myself, and just for the sake of detailing, I have said that content generation can be, there are many more packages are available, but readily available to you. On a collaborative mode, you can generate text through Google Docs. You can make use of Google Slides to create PowerPoint presentation and share with your students. You can create a provision for their responses, and Google Slides links with your own my Drive, Google Drive. So you will be able to see and assess whatever you have taught to them. It can be done. Then there is a open source application or the software available. It is known as Moodle. Moodle itself is a LMS, learning management system, where you can register students, you can track the students, you can make use of telling them all the resources. It's a one type of a online class situation. LCMS I intentionally put here. It is a learning content management system. So you can develop your contents. You can also use Wiki Educator, a website which we have created way back in 2006, 2007, where if you know a little bit about HTML technology, you can make use of and put forth your materials, including your photographs, snaps, sketches, or diagrams, or figures. Screencastify is a readily available add-on to your Google Chrome, by which you can, whatever you are doing on your laptop or desktop screen, will be recorded as a MP4 video, and which you can share with your. So if you're a little bit afraid of that, what in a synchronous mode, I may commit a mistake. I may not able to deliver what I need to deliver. If that fear is there, then is to record your own lecture beforehand through Screencastify using whiteboard and screen recording of it. Whatever you are teaching, you can record up to 10 minutes of video, share with your students, and they will be able to. And another parallel one is a Screenomatic, Adobe Flash, Audacity. Audacity is to actually edit your audios. So if you have deliberated something and something goes wrong, you can upload it on Audacity. It's absolutely free. Audacity you can download any point of time, and it's easy to use. Just search out what portion you have to cut, both sides you mark it and press scissors, it will cut. So you can develop your own audio material. Then there are teaching tools to plan your help stay connected. So many things are there. I'm not going to read it to you, but one mostly we use for planning purposes is a Google Calendar or Live Binder or Plan Board, where you can say section 1, this lesson is to be taught. Section 2, these are the tools which I'm going to use for delivery of my content. 3, this is the assessment points which I'm going to do. 4, these are the tangible outcomes on this particular topic which I intend to receive from my learners. So these are some planning tools. Then presentation and review tools that show me you are using MS PowerPoint, Adobe Flash, animations, etc. You can create. So many free softwares. Some are paid, some are permitting you to use for a certain duration, for a certain period, and then you may have to pay. So look for the softwares which are freely available to you, easily available to you, and Google has done lot many aspects in that. They have created Google Docs, Google Forms, Google Slides, and that you can make use of in creating the contents, presenting yourself, creating your videos, creating your audios, and assessing the students and remaining connected with them to communicate. Then let us come to the conferencing applications. We are using Zoom, so I need not to deliver more of it. I told you that it is a paid service, but Google Meet is free up to 100 participants. There are more like 50 participants, Skype, GoToMeeting, Adobe Connect. Adobe Connect doesn't permit you even for a single conference free of cost. So you can make use of such out those synchronous mode applications where audio, video sharing, and where you can see your participants, how they are doing, and then you can make use of it. Then similarly, improve speaking with audio recording applications. If you're teaching languages and you want somebody to pronounce correctly the English words, you can record it, you can share with your students and ask them to repeat with you. So the practicing sessions, etc. So there are different things which are available. Few are paid again and few are free to you. Then assessing is an important issue. How do I assess? There is a fear because we used to do a class mock test or term and examinations or things like that. Now, is there anything available, readily available? As I told you, Google Forms. If you open Google Forms, there is a normal Google. We all filled to join this particular session, the Google Forms, but there is a third component available to you in the Google Forms. It is known as quizzes. So you can have MCQs, multiple choice questions, objective type questions. You can prepare them and you can give it to the students, and that response comes back to you on your system, and you can check it out and you can give the marking, etc. So many are there. The facilitators facilitating you remote learning or the remote learning path. A few of my observations is you need to collaborate in distance education. Very first principle is collaborate, collaborate, collaborate. You alone, you will be not able to do it that effectively as you wish to do it. Nobody stops you to not to do it alone, but you do it. Everything which you want to do in online learning, even in classroom situation, when I was teaching in Northeastern Hill University, I used to study at least 24 hours to deliver for 45 minutes. So I believe everybody does that, even in the higher education system or in school education, that whatever classes you are going to take, you prepare for that, but you plan that in that specific time. Now, that 45 minutes are stretched to 24 hours. So one needs to look into that that what my student will be doing within that time frame, what he needs to learn today, how much lesson, how much assessment, how much additional resources I have to give to attain the objectives which is set forth by the curriculum. Manage your expectations. Whatever you are expecting, you try to manage it. Don't try to overdo. If you can do it, do it. If you cannot do it, please don't do it. Don't overstep those things. And it is important in online learning that whatever is possible, whatever effectively you can do. In when I used to study and for my MTech, and I used to give, we call this as selective studies. That I know that 5 questions will be asked. If I can respond correctly 4 questions, I need not to attempt the 5th one. So out of 80 marks, I may get 70. But if I try to do all 5 questions, I may not even get 70 marks because I will be not justifying my answers within that time frame of 3 hours to the question which is asked. It's just for sake of doing it. I did all 5s on the lighter side of it. I was just saying it. Just not forever. This particular technology is, or this situation is not going to stay long. Sooner or later, we will be overcoming from this COVID. Again, our schools will be populated by our learners. They will be visiting us. But in between, whatever we have done through this online learning, whatever tacit experiences we have gained, kindly make use of it. This situation is not going to stay long. So try to do whatever you can do, thinking that this will be replicated, duplicated in coming future, in my classroom situation, in my college situation, in my school situation, in my university level. This will also work for face-to-face. This is for sure. And we are doing it. And that is why I am before you. Having said that, remote lifelong learning, promote it. And with these words, there are certain pledge you may have to take for towards it, that you will not unbelieve your students. You will not try to give them whatever is not understandable. We will not pitch at the level which is beyond their comprehension. Ultimate aim is learning. So whatever path you take, whether it's a classroom or distance education, e-learning, online learning, I believe our basic purpose is that we should be present when they need us. With these words, I would like to wind up today's presentation, is just to give overall picture whatever was happening. Thank you very much. Dr. Robin.
Thank you very much for your very insightful presentation. Can you hear me? Is it audible? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, but little low. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Is it okay now?
Okay, go ahead.
Right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much for enlightening us. We thought that, including me, many of the participants used to think that just standing in front of the camera and taking a session in Zoom, we thought it was online learning. Now we come to understand that it is more than that. It is more than that, and it is a more of a blended learning, where we take into consideration the traditional learning and the technology that we have, and we also need to work on the pedagogical part, which you elaborated a lot. And having said that, I have some questions which are very much similar to the questions the which have been posed by the participants. And the questions are of, many of the participants here are university teachers, and they have a sort of apprehension that we teach, 3 to 4 credit hour subjects. Now, how can we keep the level of engagement of the students, number one, in such a long course, and number two is, how can we engage them throughout the course,
And the third one, they even talk about the evaluation process. How can we do the evaluation of the student online? And since we are not accustomed to such type of environment, and you come from an environment where you are already practicing it. This is question number one, sir.
Okay. Can you, what I understood is the third one is online assessment.
Yes,
Second
sir.
one
Third one is
was
online
probably
assessment.
continuously engaging students. Am I
Right,
right to say that?
continuous engaging student, and that is also in the very long course. We're talking about academic course, which is of 3 to 4 credit hours, very long, sir. It is 45, 48 hours. When you say 3 credit is 48, because 1 credit hour is 16 hours, as you know. So these are the questions, sir.
Okay. How I can ask reverse the question. How you were keeping them engaged in your classroom for 45 minutes?
Yeah, yes, sir. Our system is a bit different. When we take sessions in the bachelor's level and the master's level, our sessions are of at least 1.5 hours, sir. 1.5 hours. And when it is in EMBA or in, the similar type of course or in MPhil level, the sessions are of 2 hours. Now, the question from our fellow friend is, how can we continuously motivate and engage them? I guess you have covered some of the portion. Now they would like to get some hints from you, sir.
Now you are much relieved, Dr. Robin and my dear participants. In classroom situation, teaching more than 1 hour, it's a difficult proposition. Continuously speaking, I pick up my glass, take water, etc. And
Yes.
you need to prepare for those 1.5 hour session. You need to prepare a lot. Even for 45 minutes, I used to spend more than 20 hours of preparations.
Right,
Now
sir.
in this situation of online learning, teach 10 minutes and rest of the time you just go on showing the videos. So you are actually free. Your job is more to search such web resources which is related with the topic, which is activating the students, motivating them. Don't pick up a video which you yourself is not liking. It may be quite content loaded. It may be talking a lot about things, but if it is not motivating, you don't show it. So you need to locate such videos, audios, or exercises or games which you can share with these students. And please don't tell me that higher education students are not believing in games, online games, etc. I myself play that what you call so many games are there. So they are there. We do play, we do see TV. So create an environment, and always if you hide something, if you tell everything right at the beginning, it may distort the motivation or keep going component. You have to hide something, leave at a point that what is next. If you are seeing soap operas on TV, you always wait for the next episode, because they end at that juncture when something which is which you will go on thinking. Like in Indian movie Bahubali beginning and Bahubali, then why Katappa killed? That is the question everybody was asking. So second movie, so 6 hours movie was produced by keeping first movie, and then they waited 2 months and it made the biggest business in the film industry. Something of that sort. So learn from there, create that environment. Now coming to the part of assessment.
Yes, sir.
Assessment has two components. One is continuous assessment, what we call is a formative assessment, where you need to judge the attainment of objective, what you set for that curriculum on a regular interval. That is to the practitioner or the teachers. It is that job is given to us. Term and examination, which is mostly in IGNOU, it is 70-30 component. 70% is summative assessment, where you have to appear in the final examination and write those questions, right? So summative assessment is the area of institution which they need to do. Now, this is a very, very backward thinking, I believe. There is a provision that you can create avenues of continuous assessment. For example, you can download an e-portfolio e-portfolio application and share with your student. Every student has to do whatever they have learned today, has to write about it. And by the end, you have 365 responses available to you. Assess them and give marks out of 100. So you have to change. The mindset of state is to change. The mindset of institution has to change. But as of now, without changing that component, till policies comes in, you can think of only that 30-50% of continuous assessment, and rest you leave it to the institution. Whenever ICA do the workshop or conference for how to do summative assessment or open book examination, etc., we will deliberate much on that. But I have already given Google Forms is one of the apps available readily, where you can have MCQs, you can create quizzes by yourself on a piece of paper and give it to the students, let them give it, scan it, send it back to you. You check as a pen and paper and do it. Thank you.
Right, sir, right. So having said that, one of the friends have posed a question saying that as you were answering to the question, he has passed on a question saying that when we
Dr. Robin, your voice is not much clear.
is it
Can
clear
you
now?
come nearer to
Okay.
microphone?
Is it okay? I'm coming
Yeah,
very clear to the microphone now.
yeah.
Was one of the participants have posed a question saying that um, having said like we can have this continuous learning, continuous assessment system, continuous learning system. Now when we go in a platform, it gives us an opportunity to just to deliver. The other one is to maintain records of the how students performed during that session and the session previous to that, and even after that also to come up to some of the total performance. And these people are talking about the learning management system. Do we have a learning management system as such which can be taken into consideration? Number one, and number two is, should we take the open source like the Moodle and the Teams, or we take something which is customized for the institution? So what would you suggest on that, sir?
Yeah, you can do it. You can always download Moodle. Moodle is open source app
Yes.
available. But I myself doesn't know Ubuntu, so I can't upload it and configure it. Somebody has done it, then I can make use of it. That is fine. But if you say that I want to institutionalize Moodle classes, probably you need to have that technology with you, or the team available to you who can actually address those issues. So as a layman, computer layman, infrastructure layman, I want to make use of whatever is readily available to me. If my institution is ready to install Moodle and train me to use it, I will use that LMS. There are A-Tutor LMS and different LMSs are available, which are freely available to you. But you have to configure them, you have to institute them, and then make use of it. It is not only teachers, it is also learners. They need to learn how to make use of Moodle classes. If you can't reach to certain places which you want to do. For example, I was just first time I opened Khan Academy. I was listening it for long, but to find it out a biological reproduction video, it took me almost 5-6 minutes to search it. Where to go? Which class? And they asked me to register a class, create a class as a teacher, so blah 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 blah. So question is that wherever whatever you are comfortable, please adopt it, and then request your institution if they are ready to do your facilitate you in creating the technology, instituting the technology. Please make use of it. Be comfortable, be in your comfort zone, and keep your learners also in that comfort zone. Thank you.
Right, sir. Thank you very much for the answer. There is one more question, which is one of the lady principal of a school. She is talking about, can we continue a program? Can we have a program for 3-4 days for her for our school school teachers? Is that possible, sir? Would you be able to manage time for
I
them?
think I think you should reply rather than I reply on that.
Certainly, from our end, we'll try to help ma'am and come up with some, customized solution for the lady, and we'll be able to, enrich the learning system in that school. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for the question. Now, I would like to invite the participants to, pause the question. You may type your question through the chat, and we'll read it out for you. And Dr. Pankaj will be able to answer your question. Over to you, ladies and gentlemen, please.
There is a couple of our participants are needing my presentation. I will give it to Dr. Robin and let him share with you all people if it can be of some use. Uh, by the way, I always make a presentation which is customized to one particular group. And most of things is rather than showing it to you, I make use of it for myself, that what I want to deliberate. And to break the monotony of looking at this old face, you'll better use look into some PowerPoint beautiful slides. So these are the basic aims of putting those presentations. Still, as you have said it, I will share it with Dr. Robin and let him share with the participants, those who are present here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we would like to once again assure all the participants, the friends, that we will transfer the slides to all of you, and even if we get something extra which can be shared along with the people to enrich your learning, we'll definitely do that. And I guess we have got contacts of each one of you, whoever have joined the today's webinar, and whatever comes in terms of the online learning, changing, paradigm of the online learning, about the new technologies, about the new experiments or the best practices which is taking place in different part of the world, we would be communicating to you. And it depends upon your level of curiosity and how eager you are to push us time and again. And having said that, we would like to invite more questions. We have got now 10 minutes left, and I would like to invite everybody to pause question if you have one.
Uh, Dr. Robin, I have one of my older known person as a participant. Can you please invite her, Dr. Sunila Chaube from Bhopal?
Dr. Sunila Chauve. Dr. Sunila Chauve.
Dr. Sunila,
Dr. Sunila. Dr. Sunila, can you hear us?
maybe she is not there.
Maybe she's not there, or maybe it is a technical thing. She is here. She is very much here.
Okay.
Sunila Chauve is very much here.
She has to unmute herself to speak.
Yes.
Anyone else? I will be happy to respond to any question.
She has not connected. She just checking, but she have not connected. Maybe she forget to type in the password. Okay. Okay. There is one question from Subhash ji. This is to Dr. Khare. Sir, I would like to know from Pankaj sir experience, what is most challenging task in online education? So what is most challenging task in online education? Dr. Khare, over to you, sir.
Sure, it's a lovely question and thank you very much for asking this. The most, Subhashi, most difficult part is to convince yourself or oneself how to make use of online technologies.
Right, sir.
The perpetual fear of spoiling your computer or the technology or the mistakes which I or you may commit is one thing. I have taught in more than 15 countries on e-learning right from 2003 onwards. I found that how do you make use of mouse? There is a fear. I don't wish to hold it up. Number one, there was a fear of screen reading. There was a fear when a participant said, "Sir, whole day I was looking at the screen, my eyes are aching." But technology per se is not asking you to do that. Never try to, Subhashi, do everything, overdo anything. Whatever your comfort zone is. Even today at this age, I'm sitting on system more than 12 hours every day. I'm not feeling uncomfort. But if you are actually fearful of exploring, exploiting, making use of it, you will be not able to successful. So the most difficult part is not the technology. Is most difficult part is our own fear. We have to overcome through that. I hope I'm able to communicate that way, Subhashi.
Yes, sir. I guess it is a sort of common problem to everybody. Even I also had similar type of thing when I start teaching. When I
Yeah,
start teaching, especially when you start using the technology, we have a sort of this fear. If I press a button, what is going to happen? Would I delete a file, or my computer will automatically shut down? This sort of thing happens to everyone. And the other thing from my side, my experience is, you should not carry sort of a fear. And the other one is, you should have a strong persistence. You should keep on learning, and you should have a patience too. As we are we're shifting the paradigm from the old traditional learning to, this is sort of a blended learning. So we need to shift the paradigm from the old school to contemporary school. This is what I think, according to my own experience. Because I have been teaching for the last 30 years, and I see there is a challenge every time. Every time whenever I go to class, I find a new batch of student with, higher level, higher and eager, higher eager level of the, this, this aptitude to learn, and this, appetite to learn, and also the curiosity to learn. And
yeah,
we need to come to their level. So teaching is a profession where we say it is a lifelong learning, and it starts from the guru. That is one of the points that we are discussing here today. We are shifting the paradigm from the teacher to the mentor. Sir, I would like to ask you one question. How can we shift our paradigm from traditional teaching to mentoring? This was one of the theme of the webinar, and one of the fellow participants have also posed the same question.
see, personally speaking, uh, I don't think there is a paradigm shift or a change in any paradigm. This paradigm was already available for long. In India, it started way back in 1960, and IGNU came into being in 1985. And since then, we are practicing, we are using online technologies. In 1999, we got first email account for IGNO and so forth. And now we have our own servers and everything, our own website, 5 channels, etc. So basically, it's a introduction to the paradigm which was available to us, and but we were less caring about such online paradigm, things like that. MIT started MOOCs, massive online courses, way back, and later on UNESCO adopted it in 2002, and the terminology open education resources, etc. So the paradigm was there. This COVID time has given more emphasis towards this old paradigm, which was available, but not used in the way it could have been used to facilitate learning. Now, emails we are using for such a long period, it's a beautiful online tool. Now, which online tool is readily available to you and what is possible, explore it by yourself. You will find lot many tools are available. Google Docs, Google Forms, Google Slides, which I have already said, they are available, time tested. And beyond that is a Google Classroom. You can create your own classes on Google. It's absolutely free. You can register your student, teach a subject, and go ahead. So this emphasis on a difficult in difficult times on a different paradigm from a four walls to an open arena is the thing which we need to deliberate upon. And that is why I requested everybody that we should not forget that when everything will be all right in future, that this technology which is readily available to us is fully utilized, exploited to provide more learning opportunities to the learners. I hope I am able to answer to that question.
Right, sir, you fully answer to the query. Fully answer to the query. Now, sir, there is one more question which is from a teacher like me who is teaching, numerical subject. He is teaching finance and statistics. And he says, how can I maintain the level of engagement of the student in numerical teaching? Because, it requires a lot of, engagement of the students, and I need to have attention of the each and every student to teach them well. So how it is different from teaching the theoretical subject with the, vis-a-vis the numerical subjects?
I'm not that way comfortable because I migrated from my engineering to education. Statistics, what I understand, there are more capabilities. As a teacher, a good teacher, you need to provide tools to do analysis, etc. You need not to verbatim tell them the process of attaining the results, and keeping them engaged is create such exercises which are excellent in nature, which is exciting. And for example, the Vedic mathematics, which we are teaching nowadays, that how to attain, how the calculation Shakuntala Devi was able to do, and able to beat computers faster than that. So taking left side, right side, and then in statistics, you can talk about statistical components, that how null hypothesis can be tested and why T is to be determined, etc., etc. You can think of it. Then there are new technologies, how you can make use of MS Excel to do forecast or achieving a goal or creating scenarios. These are the package inbuilt components which are coming up. Just now today, I started facing problem on my computer because it said that Windows has launched new version of Explorer. And suddenly nothing was available. I was left without presentation and was unable to connect to Zoom because it took almost 15 minutes to upload that update. Similarly, every company which has launched these online packages or computing devices or computing applications, they update on a regular interval. MS Excel 2010 onwards have lot many shortcut keys which identifies the problem using artificial intelligence and statistically validate them. Give exercises based on that to your students to determine what will be the scenario if the total your 100% sale is there, or in worst case scenario when there is a zero sale and due to lockdown, then what will be the average, and create such goals. So I'm just quoting one of the examples which you can do, and numerical things are more easier at any level, whether it is a class 1 or in a higher MSc statistics, etc. Try to do it, explore yourself first, give that exercise, try to take out that innovative approach a student has taken and analyze it and share with everybody. So I believe it is much easier than teaching a history of Nepal or India. That will be more difficult proposition than statistics. Thank you, Robin sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And one more question that is very much relevant, and it is a challenge also. Sort of a thing, we whenever we talk about this, online education sort of thing, it is very much available for the higher income group or the middle class or the upper middle class. Now we know there is a principal of one school. She comes from lady comes from a government school. She is a principal of a government school, which survives on the basis of the this fund given by the state, and the enrollment of the student is very low, and the number of students the average number of a student coming to the school is from low income group. Now she says, how can I bring in, such technology to my school? I am eager to use it, but having said that, my students or the learners do not have the capacity to have the access to the required level of technology. So in this condition, how can I cope up with this? Is there a sort of a middle path where I can use the technology to pass on the sort of knowledge to the students who come to my school?
That is a big issue. Always be there when we talk about online learning, online systems, and creating these things. Two basic requirement is infrastructure. IT infrastructure is to be in place. But with advent of these smartphones, low-cost smartphones available across, that's why I used in my presentation, and I said that mobile devices are very common now. Everybody, it is actually part of your own body that you carry a couple of mobile phones or one mobile phone. Quite possible in government schools when we are facilitating learners not coming with an economically strong background, they may not be having such devices. uh, I in fact have no answer to such question that how to bring in technology. But from a school point of view, you can always create an environment, online environment within a school. After COVID is COVID lockdown is over, train them. Uh, I know Professor Shugata Mitra from UK, who wrote one very good article and presented at many places. He called this a computer in a wall. So what he did is a computing device, a computer which is actually was non-usable by the company. He was with Microsoft for quite some time, and IBM later on. So he fixed it in a wall of his office with a keyboard outside, where a slum was there, and a poor students, those who were not even going to school, they were having access to it. The idea was to check it out whether they spoil the computer, they tear it off or broke it out, or they learn from there. And that experiment turned out to be quite successful. So creating such environment as a principal, if I'm in your place, I will definitely create an environment, a digital environment in the school, and without bothering about that this equipment will be spoiled or it will cost money towards repair and maintenance of it. Give them an opportunity. Our kids are quite sensitive. They know that these opportunities are rare in nature, and those who cannot reach to there is a terminology we call it bring your own device. That terminology, if they cannot make use of it, give them opportunity to learn, because this is online technology, internet technology, web-based technologies is the future. Sooner or later, you need to talk about artificial intelligence. You need to talk about these things. And as teaching resource providers or the mentors, we need to create such opportunities, whatever possible way we can do. Uh, we can't rely on the state for that purpose. I'm really sorry. I don't have actually some answer to such question that how to facilitate learners, those who are not able to access to devices or the facilities. But yes, it is doable if we all decide that it can be doable. Even Nepal, there was a person, I'm trying to, he created a wooden cyber cafe in quite remote place from Kathmandu, Mahabir Pun, if I remember correctly, right? It is 150 or 200 kilometers away from Kathmandu. And he studied in UK, and from there he brought all discarded computers and went to his village. And it's a classic example of Nepal, and it started compiling those computers from raw, and it became a case study for people that how he created a wooden cyber cafe and he generated electricity from water springs and things like that. I will share that story also. I wrote long before about him when I met him in 2003, 2004. So there are examples that if you have zeal to do it, and if you have uh, if you really want to do it, you can do it. We look forward to you, ma'am, that to share whatever you have done innovatively to facilitate our learners in government school. I would definitely like to listen to you in due course of time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for wonderfully answering to the question. And I also come from a school which was for the people like me who come from the a lower middle class. So we also are trying to raise fund among ourselves, the alumni. We are collecting funds and we are donating to the school for a cause, and we can raise a fund like that. And we also have planned to raise the fund by hosting charity dinner every year, and whatever amount of money that comes to the forum, that will go to the school to buy the teaching aids, and that includes the technology, maybe the gadgets which includes the iPod, iPad, to this laptops, to the computers, to everything. So this could be one example you can take into consideration, and we have a formula for doing it, and we also have an experience. So, ma'am, we can help you even after the session also. After the session also, because we carry that type of commitment and the experience too. Having said that, there's one more question, sir, which you have already answered on your behalf. I am going to answer to one of my senior who is talking about up to what length we can engage the students. Now it depends upon you for how long you will be able to engage them, which Dr. Khare has very nicely presented before also. He talks about it should not be more than 45 minutes generally. But if you can provide them with pre-learning materials before the session, which they would be able to go through it, and they would come and join in the group and start having discussion, that will take at least 20 minutes. Now, even after your presentation, you can do quizzes and even have discussion forum that can also engage students for 15 minutes. Now, if we take everything together, that is going to come around, this 75-minute session, sir. Now, if you would like to do after that summarization, maybe you are very smart, then you can take to the 120 minutes maximum, sir. 120 minutes maximum. This is my experience, and this is what the research also talks about. We cannot engage people for a long period without really engaging them. The question is, are we just connecting them or engaging them? My suggestion is, let's engage them so that they will be able to learn, and we would be able to do justice to this session. Having said that, I think we have come to the end of everything. We have come to the end of everything. Before that, I would like to announce one more thing. ICA Development and Research and EGANSIP have jointly organized this program, and this program would be continued in the days to come, depending upon the eagerness of the learners and the requests that we receive. And we can even come up with the customized program for institution, individuals, and for the group. We are located at Gyaneswar, Kathmandu. You can call us, you can write email to us. We'll be able to reach to you. And having said that, we also have our own learning management system, which we can provide to you in your learning process. We also do customization of the Moodle according to your requirement, because we, in absence of the learning management system, the whole learning process becomes incomplete. Else it will become only sort of a chat that we do in the you know in the different platform, where the students will not have the notes, will not have the resources to review in the days to come, and will not be able to do the proper evaluation. Having said that, once again, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Pankaj Khare, for providing us your very valuable time. We know you were very, very busy in the morning. You have certain engagement in your family. Despite of your engagement, You took time for us, sir. Thank you very much. We are very, very obliged to you, sir. Good day to you, sir. And thank you very much to all the participants. And once again, we would like to thank you. And also would like to apologize for being 10 minutes late because of the technical problem. Thank you. Namaskar. Subha
Thank you,
Sanichar.
Dr. Robin. Thanks to ICA for making such a beautiful arrangements. Unfortunately, I lost one of my aunts just 10 minutes before. I just received the message, but life is like that. We have to continue. And I wish all the participants all the luck. And thank you for inviting me. I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. And heartfelt condolence to you and through you to your family on the loss of this lady. We are really sorry for sir. So
It
very sorry
was
for
it
the.
was a long suffering, so we are feeling bit relieved that suffering is ended in a difficult time. But it's okay. We need to bear, and this is happening quite during COVID time. It is a very frequent thing. This year, in my family, I lost my father, my uncle, and so many people. Right from March, everything is happening. But it's life goes on. Life goes on. So let it go on. And unfortunately, it was happening when we were talking here, and I just saw it, the passage. Anyways, thanks for your
Thank you
concern.
very much. Thank you very much, all the participants. See you in the days to come. Namaste.
I'm leaving the meeting with your kind permission. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Actually, सबैजनालाई unmute गरौँ न, unmute all है त.
Thank you, sir.
We are unmuting everyone. We got the message that Dr. Khare's aunt has expired. She pass it on, pass the message to us through the other medium. So we had to leave him. Okay. So is there any question that we can answer to you? Any of the parties, any of the friends? I would like to say, any of the friends, please go ahead. Within our capacity, we'll be able to whatever we'll be able to answer. We'll definitely try to answer to you.
So, are we going to have any more webinars in the near future?
Yes.
Are we going to have any such virtual meetings in the future as well?
Yes, yes, we are going to have virtual meeting depending upon your requirement. If you have a need, we'll certainly come to you. So you need to tell us. Do you
Are we going
really
to have any
what kind of requirements you have?
more webinars like this organized by CIA in the future, near future, I mean?
Okay, Mr. Pal, then what you can do is you already have our email address. You can write us to what type of webinar you would like to have, and what would be the question that you would like to get answer. So we'll accordingly design the session, keeping in the mind the other learners also their quest. So we'll compile it and we'll
Especially on online teaching methodology,
other
sir.
person also.
Online learning skills.
Okay, you can write an email to us. Take your
Many
time.
of the teachers
Nothing stopping.
lack skill
Okay,
technology, so basic
okay,
technologies for the beginners, especially for the teachers, those take online.
fine. Please do write to us. This Limbo, I can see you. Looks like you would like to participate. Yes, ma'am. Para Limbo.
Yeah, I think this is a very useful and beneficial webinar. I think because I'm also trying to understand about how to get into this education, sector, whereas you guys are very experienced and have a lot,
Please
good
do write to
advice
us.
and feedback.
Please do write to us, ma'am. If you have any
Yes.
queries, any further information that you would like to have from our side, we'll be more than happy to assist you because we are also from the same fraternity, teaching and learning. So it is within the family. So please write to us. We'll be able to
Thank
get back
you.
to you. And is there anybody who would like to interact? Krishnaji, Krishnaji is here. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. Now I do not see any question from your side. I know side for a long time. So I think we have come to the end of the session. Having said that, we would like to conclude today's session. And once again, thank you very much, everyone. Have a great Saturday. Thank you. Namaskar.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Wonderful, wonderful, sir. Thank you
Okay, thank you so much.
very much for the organizer.
Thank
A.
you.